Omarion Hampton, some people's number one rookie running back, and you can't blame anybody for liking this kid's skill set. He reminds me a lot of JT, and he wears 28. Maybe that's part of it. He's 6 foot, 220. Maybe that's part of it. He runs like a bowling ball, runs very much like JT. That's probably part of it. But of course, Genty's my one. And while some people might say, Smitty, I just don't like that he played too many small schools. Is he proven? I don't care. Go watch my Genty video. I'm not here to talk about Genty, but I just want you to know he's my one. Part of this video is to let you know how much I like Hampton. So taking Genty out of the picture, is Hampton my number 2? Yes and no. I say yes because he's tied with Trey Henderson right now. Ties aren't, I think, the easiest way to rank players, and I normally don't play that game. I'm very, very quick to make an assumption, make a prediction. I don't need to see landing spots. I'll adjust and adapt. I'm not afraid to throw a prediction out before landing spots get handed out. But in this particular case, these two are tied for me right now, and landing spot will nudge one in front of the other. And it's okay if you have Hampton 1. It's okay. I don't want anybody to think that's a crazy take a lap kind of take, but I just think Trey Henderson's that good. And you can go watch my Trey Henderson video to make sure you're fully aware of how much and why I like the kid. But we're here to talk Hampton, who I can now conclude at the beginning and the intro of this video that he is tied for my running back 2 with the landing spot nudging one of Henderson or Hampton to the 2 spot. The Fantasy Football Show begins right now. Hampton, you can call him Mr. Consistent. Look at the career stats. Actually, first look at last year's rushing stats. 16, 60, 15 tutties, 5.9 a pop, only 281 carries. Here's his career game log, which is ultra impressive. Let me remind everybody that he only ran the ball 281 times. 253 times. His mileage, while he's rushed for 1660 and 1504, his tread is not worn off the tires at all. His tires are brand new still. This is very low mileage despite the production of 5.9, but he's Mr. Consistent. 15 tutties in back-to-back years in 2024 and 2023. 5.9, 5.9, 15, 15, 75, 68. It's all so close. 373, 222, 2-1. And I mean, good God, 1660 and 1504. He's a consistent machine. And as he reminds me of JT. He really does. And JT's at what, a top 12 to 15 overall player. He's got that potential. I think even if Genty's my 1, and I say Genty's going to be a top 1 to 5 running back, a top 1 to 5 overall dynasty player from 2025 moving forward. Meaning I'd take Genty in the top 3. I'd take him 3 or 4, maybe 5 in a dynasty startup. That does not regulate this guy to being a bum on my rankings. And even having Trey Henderson maybe slightly above him from a prospect perspective, not when the landing spots are handed out. Again, I can't state enough that this guy goes to 2 with the right landing spot, and Trey Henderson goes to 3, maybe even 4. Maybe Scatterboo goes to number 3 if Trey gets a horrible spot. You know, but if Hampton gets an amazing spot, he could go to my number 2. But even if I have Trey Henderson at 12 overall dynasty player, this guy could be still 14, 15 overall. This running back draft class is amazing. This running back draft class will create 1 top 5 running back, 2 top 10 running backs, one of which is in the top 5, and potentially 3 top 15 running backs, 1 Genty in the top 5, 1 of Trey or Hampton in the 6 to 10 range, and the other one in the top 15. Just like the rookie wide receiver class replenished the wide receiver room or wide receiver bucket in 2024 with BT and Neighbors, and list goes on and on. MHJ hasn't even really broke out yet. That is an amazing wide receiver year. This running back stable in 2025 coming out of college is going to replenish and refuel the running back stable in the NFL and in fantasy, much like that 2024 wide receiver class did in 2024. Hampton in the right spot. Let's call it. Let's go over and take a gander. In the right spot, Hampton, you know, let's say he goes to the Raiders. He would be unbelievable there. I think Genty's likely to go there. Chicago might be the landing spot for Hampton, because I believe that if the Raiders take Genty at 6, let me get rid of Milton. You're probably confused why Milton's even on screen. If let's say the Raiders take Genty at number 6, then the Chicago Bears probably swing into the picture, I would say, at 10 for Hampton. So if you go look at the NFL draft order, we say Hampton goes 10 down here and Genty goes 6 here. If the Raiders don't take Genty, I think Carolina Panthers, I don't think they're going after him. Jets aren't going after him. Saints have a real interest in him. I think if you're the Bears and you're Ben Johnson and you want Genty, you better move up. It was kind of like, okay, the Raiders are the only team that could take Genty before the Bears. Now the Saints are showing tremendous interest. And remember, this is an organization, even though they extended Kamara, he's older. Ziggy, how old is Alvin Kamara?
Alvin Kamara is 29 years old.
Turns
July 25th, 1995.
Okay, so turns 30 before the season begins. Doesn't matter if the team likes Kamara. He's turning 30 walking into the year, and the Saints know that they want to replace him with a player that plays a lot like him. And this is the next Alvin Kamara meets Breece Hall meets Jahmyr Gibbs meets. I mean, you could throw every player at him. He's got a certain skill set. I think of all the greats, he's such an amazing prospect. Genty's the best prospect to come out of college at the running back position since Barry Sanders, and some would argue Barkley, but I think you can make a strong case that he is the second best prospect ever behind Barry. So again, going back to the NFL draft, I believe that now the Bears are in jeopardy of not being able to even, sniff Genty if the Saints and the Raiders are now looking to get him. So they'll have to trade up. Anyway, back to what I was saying. Genty goes 6 or 9. I think the Bears take Hampton. I think the Bears have Hampton or Genty coming out of this draft. Ben Johnson wants it. Ben Johnson wants his weapon. Wouldn't be surprised if he took another running back like Caleb Johnson or something later. Try and get that duo. Or uses Swift. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, I mean, Hampton's probably protected into a very, very good landing spot. And I've got a smaller graphic here of all the picks. Cowboys could take him at 12. Hampton, if Genty was gone. If Genty fell, he won't. Genty won't fall out of the top 10. But if for any reason he did, the Dolphins would want him. I don't care what anybody says, they would take him. As far as Hampton, he could go. I mean, look, the Bengals aren't a team that wouldn't consider Hampton. I think they're going to be all about the defense the entire draft. Defense. But if Hampton was there, they would consider it. I'm just telling you. And then they focus on defense the rest of the draft. I think the Broncos are probably my favorite dark horse team in the entire National Football League. Washington Commanders second. But I think they stay. The Commanders stay at 29 and take Henderson if they're going to get bold. And I love Trey Henderson in Washington. That makes him the number 2 running back to me behind Genty. Right then and there. But the Broncos are a dark horse. If they don't get Hampton naturally at 20, which I don't think they'll have a chance to, they trade up for Genty or Hampton. I think that's the dark horse move. So anyway, Hampton to the moon. Top 6 to 10 running back as a rookie, potentially based on the landing spot. And being number 2 or 3, or me being in flux about whether it's Henderson or Hampton, does not paint a negative picture about either one. It's just that good of a running back crew coming out in 2025. Go watch the rest of the rookie profile videos. They're all on my YouTube main pages. Go to my YouTube channel. On the main homepage of my YouTube channel, scroll down, you'll see all the rookie profile videos all on one row. I got Fantasy Football Court all on one row. The ADP shows all on one row. Your boy's going to have the YouTube channel humming and organized, and you can literally go find whatever you need. Just go into my main page on my YouTube channel, see Wall, live Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern.